Hello, welcome everyone to another show of Stats of the Day. I'm your host Karam, and today we are going to discuss the 6 matches from GW28 that I've just completed. And fest of goals. We will be focusing a bit more on the teams and players who are playing a double game week next game week, and see if we need to buy someone, or if you have him already, are you worried? Are you confident about him? But first of all, we need to welcome everyone in the comment section, saying hello to everyone. How is everyone doing? Hope you are doing fantastic. Hope you are chilling in this weekend. Let me know. Have you Captain Kane? 6 pointers, not the best, not the worst. Spurs in general are not hitting the winning streak now, so a bit concerning. We've seen some Conte quotes after the match, quite intense. If you are on Saka, there is a chance you outscore Kane captainers, so it's still in play. And have you field 11 players? I myself took a decision to ship out Haaland and Estupinian for Watkins and Chilwell. Quite classic, quite template. I consider a few more players, all of them returned except the ones I actually bought at the end. And still, double game week to come. I'm not entirely sure on I liked Chilwell today. I am not sure about the defense. I still like Stupinian. Maybe I will switch Henry because it seems like Brentford are not going to keep clean sheets. I know it's light for light transfer, but we will take a look. I mean, Henry today has done okay. We will see that in the defense in the defenders table. So without further ado, let's roll with it. Let's have a look at the match day stats for today. Okay, so we have 6 matches to go through. This slide will show 3 of them. We will start with Aston Villa win against Bournemouth 3-0. A comfortable win. Quite disappointing if you have Oli Watkins. He only managed 5 pointers. I have considered Buendia for one of the Brighton midfielders with an option to buy him back. I didn't go for it. And yeah, here you go. Buendia is second from the Villa players with an expected goals involvement of 0.75, managed his goal. Douglas Luiz, he is popping up every now and then with an odd goal, so he's been quite involved today with an XGI of 1.14. Watkins, however, he didn't have as much high of an expected goal involvement as I would have liked to see, but he has also had 4 goal attempts, so that's all right. He's been getting some volume with not the best quality. Managed only the assist today. Arguably, this is the best game of the next 3, including the double game week. So I would have liked to see a bit more, especially that I'm shipping Haaland, so it's quite a big move. You have to buy Haaland back. So I think I will roll without Haaland for the next game week. And play the 3 games versus 1 strategy and see where we are come the end of next game week. On the Bournemouth side, not much to add. Just want to highlight the best player for the last few weeks, without a doubt, Ouattara. He's been there. He's been up there every game, and expected goals involvement of 0.33, which is actually higher than most of the players from Villa. So I mean, he's quite there, but of course Bournemouth as a whole, I wouldn't touch any of their assets. Southampton, a dramatic draw against Tottenham in the last seconds of the game. Ward-Prowse managed to get the draw for Southampton. Again, not Southampton and Tottenham, none of them have a double game week next game week. But remember last game week I mentioned Porro, and I said he could be a very excellent option, and here you go. He is the best Spurs player for today, expected goal involvement of 0.93, managed his goal. Harry Kane also managed a goal from an XGI of 0.84 from this match. But overall, the defense was just not alright. But I'm sure not many have Perisic anymore. Not many have Romero or not even Porro. If you have him, very well done. He's a huge differential. But yeah, as a Kane owner, it's alright. 6 points is alright. He did okay. Kane for himself without bonus points. That's not Harry Kane as usual. He always gets there in the bonus, but 6 goals in the game. So yeah, Southampton did excellent today. Ward-Prowse expected goal involvement 1.12 and managed a goal in the last second of the match. Believe it or not, we are going to talk about Theo Walcott with an expected goal involvement of 0.76, a goal and assist. I know he plays with Southampton, but I was still surprised to see him playing for some reason. So good old days. And yeah, so quite fist a game, but for a double game week, none of them have a double game week. And I think if you have Kane, you probably would keep him for next game week. Moving on to Brentford and Leicester, and I think a lot of attention was on Brentford players after doing alright last double game week. Sadly, this one they have failed totally. None of the Tony, Raya, Henry, and Tony have managed a return. It was Jensen with his goal, and the goal came in from the expected goal involvement of 0.22. If you look at the game itself and all players, like the highest player that managed an goal involvement was Harvey Barnes. Quite a differential to pick for this game week, and he has a double as well. I honestly looked at him along with Buendia, and didn't like the minutes of recent games. I didn't look further why he was not playing much, but it put me off. So yeah, you see both of them scored goals, but I didn't end up having any of them at the end, which is quite typical. 4 goal attempts for Harvey Barnes, a total XGI of 0.67, and that goal from him. Ricardo Pereira, I like him back in the game. I don't like him as an FPL asset because Leicester defense is just terrible. Madison, one of the options for double game week because Leicester have one. Not the best of the games for Madison in terms of stats. Only XGI of 0.26, but he managed to get an assist. So I think he got a yellow card as well. So it's only 4 points for him. For Brentford, Henry. I think it's more worth mentioning that Henry had 3 goal attempts, which is quite new for him. He was not getting much in terms of goal attempts. He used to be more towards the assist. Of course, if you look into these attempts, none of them were on target, none of them were a high accuracy, not even high XGI. So it's they were quite bad. But volume is there, so is it enough to keep him? Next double game week is against Man United and what is it, Brighton, right? Is it Brighton? Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's a bit of a decision to keep Henry, for me at least, because I don't think that Brentford will keep any clean sheets. I'm alright to keep Raya because I can get saves from him. But Henry, I think it's just 2 or 3 points across the double games because I do believe Brighton and Man United will score. Let me know what you think, guys. If you have Henry, are you bench boosting him or even starting him if you are not going to bench boost? Alright, so moving on to the other set of the games. Forest and the Newcastle. Forest were very close to get a draw in the game, but again, Isaac, and I know some managers have had Isaac as a differential. Excellent differential. What a way to have a nice Friday night with 13 points from Isaac. So expected goal involvement 1.52 with 2 goals. Veloc total expected goal involvement is 0.74. He managed an assist. And Isaac is a quite good pick for a double game week. I know the attention is more about the triple Newcastle defense, the double Newcastle defense, maybe a Joe Linton in the middle or whatever, but Isaac, not many have him. And if Wilson continues to be out, then I quite like him. I really do. And it seemed that he's on penalties as well when he's on the pitch. So why not? He's not expensive. I think 6.7 or something. So if you are fed up with one of those strikers that you have and you have the funds to get him, I think is an excellent pick. For Forest again, Johnson is arguably the only one that has ever done much for the attack. But I want to give a shout out to Dennis because he is trolling us, whether with us or against us. When we had him in FPL, he got a red card in a double game week, and we captained him on those oh my god, these old good days. And when you don't have him, he scores against your defense. So ultimate troll. Thank you, Dennis. Wolverhampton against Leeds United, not the best of the matches from an FPL perspective. They don't have a double game week next game week, so I don't think many managers are looking at them. But Sarabia once again manages to be the best player from Wolves since he arrived there, to be honest. For today, he didn't get any returns, but he managed a total XGI of 0.94. Raul Jimenez, expected goal involvement of 0.61. For Leeds United, it's good to see Rodrigo back. Immediate impact when he came on. Total XGI of 0.38 in the minutes he just joined and managed his goal. Luke Ayling, XGI of 0.59, and he managed a goal. I saw also today that Gnonto has managed an assist, and if I remember correctly, Gnonto, he did not blank since I sold him on the wild card in game week 26, right, or 7. He managed an assist against Brighton, and he managed an assist against Wolves. So when we had him, he didn't deliver for us. So also typical. All right, so the last game that we are going to cover for the match day report is Chelsea, one of the teams that are being targeted for FPL against Everton. Kai Havertz, he managed the goal and expected goal involvement of 1.23. Obviously, most of it came, of course, you will consider that the penalty takes or accounts for 0.75. So overall, the expected goal non-penalty is about 0.5, which is still all right. But you can see that Chilwell and James have managed more attacking stats than Havertz if you exclude the penalty, which leads me to discuss Chilwell and James. Chilwell looked fine actually. 4 chances created, expected goal involvement of 0.71. The second best amongst defenders. We'll have a deeper look when we go to the defenders table. James, total XGI of 0.58 and an assist. I do believe it's the penalty assist, right? So Joao Felix, to pronounce him correctly, he managed a goal and a total XGI of 0.37. The question is, if you want to have an attacker from Chelsea, is it Havertz or Felix? Not Felix, it's Felix. Havertz or Felix. Basically, it's gonna be very close. I personally have issues with Havertz, so I'm not gonna ever on him. So if I want to go to Felix, to a Chelsea attacker, it will be Felix. But that's a bit biased. However, if you look at the stats, they're not far off. But Havertz has the penalties, as it seems. So maybe he has a slight edge, mainly because of the penalties. But overall, I think their role is kind of interchangeable in terms of being on a side or behind the striker. Felix is quite an attacking player as well, so it's very close. It's very close. As for Everton, Decore. It's like a Walcott thing. Like I know he plays for Everton, but I don't. I was a bit surprised to see him playing until today. I think he was out for a while and he came back recently, but he never really got my attention before. So it's quite a day to see some of those names again after a while. A goal and assist from him, a total XGI of 0.51. Demarai Gray, after being not selected to start when Daesh took over, he's been playing as the main striker recently, so it could be something of interest, but not now because they don't have a double game week. Gray managed an XGI of 0.38 without a return for today, but overall looks quite good. Alright, so let's have a look at the tables, goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and the forwards. Okay, so Martinez kept a clean sheet, 3 saves, and has been the best in terms of XG prevented of a 0.7. Plus, of course, so good game from him. If you look down the list, you will see you don't see this every week, but Jose Sa has been the worst today with an XG prevented of -2.8. Not making any single save. Same goes with Bazzono, but Bazzono, we've seen him there before. Of 0 saves, 3 goals conceded, and XG prevented of -1.5. Important to mention that Danny Ward dropped for Everton, and I don't think that Everton has been far better than Danny Ward. He only made 1 save, so he didn't receive. It was only 2 shots the whole game. He saved 1 and conceded the other. His XG prevented was -0.8, so that's not a good sign. Not a good sign. If you are Rodgers, then you would look at this and say, oh, I didn't make a huge improvement in goals. So it's a kind of a worry, but it's 1 game sample, so I'm interested to see Everton if he improves things, if he makes more saves in the next game or 2. At 3.8, he could be something. I don't think that it's enough for now to go and buy him and bench boost him. That's for sure. Right, so that's basically it for goalkeepers. Let's have a look at the defenders. Alright, so before we move on, if you like the stream, please like and share and subscribe to the channel. And I thank every one of you for joining so far. We have around 80 people, so they keep coming, so that's great. Smash the like button or press on it gently. Right, so the defenders. As I said, Porro has been the best for this game week so far. 3 chances created and scoring a goal. All over in terms of stats. Expected goal 0.55. Expected assist is 0.38. So really kind of a complete fullback wingback. So good to see that from him. At 4.8, I think once Spurs settle things down and improve their defense, I think Porro is by far the best. Even Perisic is not getting that nailness anymore. So I quite like Porro for the next run. Chilwell, should we be worried about him? No, not really. I quite like what I saw today. 4 chances created, 1 shot on target, expected assist of 0.61, total XGI of 0.71. So that's decent. Second best for the day. If you have him, then I would definitely consider keeping him for the double game week. It's not the easiest double game week, especially you have Liverpool on one side, which Yeah, we know Liverpool are not doing the best, but still they have the ability to score. So I wouldn't rely on clean sheets, but Chilwell is very capable of scoring even against Liverpool. Going down the list, you see Ayling, Johnny, Perisic, Moreno. I like Moreno as well from Villa. This was the easier game against Bournemouth. 2 chances created, 1 shot on target, and expected goal involvement of 0.35. Not as high as Chilwell and Porro, but still it's anything over 0.3, 0.4 for a defender is quite a good return for the day. So that's very good. Henry, as I said, 3 shots, 3 goal attempts, none of them on target. He also created 3 chances, but overall, look at the qualities of these chances and shots. They are very, very low. The total expected goal involvement was just 0.14. So he needs to get better chances in order to get some assists and goals. Trippier, we didn't mention him before. Is it a sign of a worry? Maybe. Is it an urgent sell? Probably not. But you can see the decline in the numbers over the last few weeks. Trippier, only 1 chance created against Forest, and the total XGI was only 0.13, which is even lower than Moreno and Henry and Johnny. So it's a flag. It's a yellow flag for me, at least. Let's have a look at the midfielders. Okay, so here we go. Lewis, the best pick for the double game week at 4.8. Total chances created 2, 3 goal attempts, and the highest in terms of XGI with 1.14. I don't think you will see Lewis scoring every week, but he is a kind of a player that every 4, 5, 6 weeks he comes out with a goal. So yeah, Buendia could be the more exciting option. Total XGI of 0.75, mostly coming in from the goal attempts. Total XG of 0.6, 1 goal attempt. It was a big chance. It was on target, and he managed to get his goal. 1 big chance created. That's also a good, of course, from Buendia. We know him playing as an attacking midfielder, so it's important to see these chances created as well as the goals. If you scroll down the list, you will see Bailey, see Barnes. I marked him in blue. Buendia and Barnes in blue are the most differential players going into the double game week. And next week, if they return, you hear it here first. So if you have a spare for them, I really like them. I really did want to have at least one of them for this game week, and I missed out. So I still think they are capable of getting more points next double game week in particular. Son and Kulusevski also up here in the list. Not much of interest, probably because of the double game week that's coming up. So people will load up more on the double game week players. But still, they have what is it next game week? They are playing Everton away, so it's not the worst of the game weeks if you have one of them and you can keep him. I don't think many have Son, mostly have Kane for sure. So Kulusevski, if you have him as a differential pick, he has created 4 chances and has had 2 goal attempts. So this show that we do every week shows some players that are not popular on Twitter. They are not owned by many, but they could be streaky, and Kulusevski could be someone who could come back slowly. 4 chances created for the day was good. Spurs as a whole, yes, they're not doing the best, but it's someone to keep an eye on if you are looking for differential, not necessarily next game week, but probably afterwards. Let's have a look at the forwards. Okay, so we have quite a list here. Isaac with 5 goal attempts, 2 shots on target. Nothing really in terms of assists. I would have liked to see a bit more but all of his expected goal is coming in from the goal involvement. Most of the expected goal involvement is coming in from the expected goals. Pretty much everything really. 1.52. Havertz come next with 6 goal attempts, 4 shots on target, and a total XGI of 1.23. Havertz managed the most goal attempts, but if you take out the penalty, then the expected goal non-penalty involvement is only 0.5. That tells you that the quality of the chances were not the best. He managed 4 on target, which is fine, but still they're not high quality or high probable goal chances. So that's something to keep in mind. But if you have a volume, then he has to put some of it at the back of the net. So it's good to see that. Felix, on the other hand, didn't have that much of involvement. So for this game week, Havertz had the edge for sure. Kane with 4 goal attempts, expected goal involvement of 0.84, and Watkins 4 goal attempts, 3 shots on target, and total expected goal involvement is 0.52. And finally, I had to put in Tony. I had to scroll through the list to find Tony. Where was Tony? Where is Tony? Tony is taking the day off today. Only 0.2 expected goal involvement. But if he wakes up in double game weeks, then that's fine. I captained him last double game week. He returned. I think for this week, not getting a yellow card is just a win for itself. So we take that. Thank you, Tony. Okay, so with that being said, that's the end of the stream of the show. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Still more games to come tomorrow, especially Arsenal on Monday, I believe. So if you haven't scored many points, there's still time to reap the rewards. And ahead of next game week, let me know in the comments under the video, who you like the most from today. Who are you going to bring in next game week? And whatever you do with your team, best of luck, and I will be checking in with you all next week. I would be doing the show next week before the international break, so we can put things into perspective while things are hot next game week with festive goals, hopefully. And until then, take care, everyone, and cheers.